What's going on, everyone? So this is actually my second time recording this video. The first time I kind of messed up, so I really couldn't use it. It was also half an hour long, so I'm not gonna try to keep this one a little shorter. But I kind of wanted to talk about the resurrection characters and the whole resurrection feature, because we've seen it implemented in a few characters already. Like, let's see if we can bring them up here. Yeah, we've seen it implemented in these guys already, and it's for the most part a little underwhelming. Some of them did get major improvements, such as Uryu and Ichigo. Ichigo got a plus, got a bruiser and a berserker, two things he did not have before. Uryu got his plus 25, I believe, 25 berserker into frenzy. That's actually a major upgrade. However, they did take his plus 30 bruiser and make it plus 20, which is kind of a downgrade. It's the only downgrade we've seen so far, but for the most part, everybody else, they get an extra soul trait. That's not a complete soul trait, but it's still part of a soul trait, and they get a boost in stats. And for the most part, the boost in stats has been 54 for attack and 88 for SP consistently. I don't know if for Uryu and Retsu it's the case as well, but I'm going to go ahead and assume it is, just because that's what it's been for everybody else. I haven't taken the time to calculate it. But I did want to bring up these other characters here, because once these guys get resurrections, and it's only a matter of time, just because they did. I pulled up a list of some of the older characters, so it's only a matter of time until some of the older characters get resurrections as well, especially because they seem to be very inconsistent with it. For example, it's like every 2 weeks they're coming out. I think one of them was on the 26th of a month, which is really weird, just because that's kind of an odd place to put it. So I'd say it's every 2 weeks and not exactly consistent. So it's only a matter of time till we get some of these characters as well. But I wanted to take the time to take a look at some of these older characters and kind of determine which ones of them are actually going to be really good, because they were either old characters or characters that didn't have the best abilities, 6-star abilities. And I wanted to take special attention to Aizen, because he was one of the big ones that, oh yeah, he had the highest SP for a very long time at 705. Well, it was actually 600 and something at the time, but he had the highest SP for a very long time, which didn't mean too much because he only had a plus 10 berserker. This is awful. This is just terrible. And so this definitely needs to be fixed. I think this is their way they're going to fix it. We did see them add frenzy to Uryu, so I think there's a good chance they're going to add frenzy to this Aizen as well, especially since he's the main bad guy. It would also push, assuming they keep with the plus 54 attack and plus 88 SP, it would also push him to have the highest SP in the game. Now, if Aizen does come around, it probably won't be for another year if they keep going at the pace that they're going, but like I said, who knows when they're going to add new characters. They seem to be adding them 2 at a time and every 2 weeks, so who knows? We might get them sooner rather than later, but we'll see. Still, a Berserker at just 10 is just awful. Bruiser at 15. I mean, it's still pretty bad, even though this guy's not technically an attack character. It would push his SP really high. His Captain Killer still gets in the way, but a frenzy on this character wouldn't be half a bad idea. Plus, he has bombardment, so it'd be really cool to see Aizen in that way. I also wanted to take a look at White Zangetsu, because this one in particular, there's very few characters that have both both Berserker and Frenzy, and this is actually important because Berserker is essentially your strong attacks do 20% more damage, and also you have Frenzy. His attacks actually do a decent amount of damage for what this character is, and I'm curious to see, first of all, when they give him a plus 88, it's going to be mid to high SP, but it's still going to do a lot of damage because he has both of these. I hope they don't get rid of this in terms of like, let's get rid of Berserker and replace it with Bruiser just to make it more balanced. It would make it more balanced, but you would actually be getting rid of a bunch of damage because Berserker and Frenzy combo is actually really good. So I hope they don't get rid of it. But it'd be very curious to see what this character can do with both. He's only a matter of time till we get him too, because he's one of the first ones as well. So it's only a matter of time. I wanted to take a look at Nell, just because I didn't actually take a look at her stats before. But it's also one of those characters. She does have Frenzy, but her Bruiser is kind of blah, especially since her attack is the main focus. After the resurrection, a lot of characters are going to have a higher SP than they do attack. Even if the attack was higher than the SP before. It's very strange that they're doing that. For example, this character is a perfect example. Her attack is going to increase by 54, but the SP is only going to be 88, pushing her SP higher, which is a good thing for this character since she has a strong attack cooldown link and she has frenzy. So it actually serves this character better. It's actually a really good thing they're doing it with this one. But it's that kind of, you will see this a lot. If you go through the older characters, you will see a lot of them have a similar makeup where their attack is just a little bit higher than their SP, and it's completely, this is about what you see, this low percentage in Bruiser and Berserker and all that. But above everything else, I really wanted to take a look at Shinji, Soifun, and Gin. Because these three characters were the original 6-star characters. They were the characters that came out when 6 stars first started. So they were the first characters to have 6 stars. Because of this, they have the worst abilities in the world. Let's start with Shinji, because Shinji. You can see he's got the standard stuff: Bruiser, Berserker, Debil, Adrenaline, and Sprinter. But the Bruiser is only at 10, Berserker is only at 15. Debil is nice because he does have confusion on everything, and confusion is good now. So this is actually pretty good. But the Berserker and Bruiser are just shameful. The stats for this character, for an old character, it's kind of, average. Espada, Killer, and Evasion Soul Trait. If they give this character another Soul Trait, it would likely be Strong Attack Recharge. It would actually be a good thing considering he has confusion on everything, and they will likely increase his Berserker to either 40 or give him Frenzy, which would be really cool. But that would make this character an actual usable character because it would push his SP to 710. It would push his attack to 690 or something. I don't know, 690. So 690 and an SP of over 700. That's actually really good. They would just have to fix this and we would be good. Still, it's one of those characters that came out first, and it's not great. But as not great as this is, Soifun and Gin are even worse, because Soifun, while she does have a really high attack, and that attack would be pushing to 755, which would be awesome, or I guess 725. Yeah, 725, which would be awesome because that's a pretty high attack, and the SP would be in the mid 600s. That's just bad. She only has 4 abilities, and one of them is Sprinter, which shouldn't even count as an ability just because everybody has it. But no Bruiser, no Berserker, nothing that increases her normal or strong attack damage at all. That's really bad. That's awful. As she has an Espada Killer, but it's to be expected from some of the older characters that didn't think through the killers very well. Strong attack damage, any other ability for this one. Honestly, strong attack cooldown is actually a pretty good ability for this character. It's just, this is the problem, you guys. Once they resurrect this character, I think that's the reason they're resurrecting some of these characters, is to fix the problem of they having too little abilities or not a high enough percent for some of these abilities. In this case, no Bruiser, no Berserkers, a major deal breaker. And Gin is the worst one. Gin might be the worst 6-star there is. And not to hate on Gin, because I know a lot of people like Gin, but 3 abilities, just 3. Just 3, and one of them is Sprinter, so technically just 2. And he does, at least he has a Bruiser, whereas Soifun did not. But giving this character Frenzy, giving this character a better Bruiser, giving this character better stuff, it would be decent, because his SP would be higher than 700 for sure. It'd be like 730 almost. Captain Killer, you can't do anything about that, but giving this character better stats and just a better abilities, because even the stats, even with these stats, if you gave this character decent abilities, you'd be fine. You'd be totally fine. Especially, you got Poison, no Debil. It's just, this is bad. This is really bad, but I want to call attention to those specifically. I also brought up Soifun and Genryusai. Yusai. The only reason I brought these guys up is because I'm like 90% sure these guys are the next characters to be resurrected. If you take a look at the characters number-wise, for 6 stars in the game, you can see that it's actually Soifun and Genryusai that are next in line. Plus, we only have 1 blue character and we only have 1 red character, so it would make sense to do them next. Actually, no, we got 2 red characters. Still, I think these will be the next ones. And this character is actually interesting because while her stats may be low, they will be increased to the mid 600s for both of her attack and her SP. She does have a really good soul trait. The killer is not half bad. She does have a decent bruiser and frenzy. Really, this character is already good. The only problem with this character is the stats that are going to get increased. This character is already decent because of the frenzy and because of the decent bruiser. And long reach at 25. That's actually pretty cool. I actually got this character. I will be 200ing her. I guess I'll be 200ing her twice because I'm sure she's next. And I'm sure I'm going to have to do a rewind on her too. So that character's next. This one, on the other hand, again, same thing with the stats. His SP is going to be high. Too bad his range sucks. Bruiser at 10, Berserker at 20. He got the short end of that stick. Yeah, he did not do as well. His abilities are likely gonna improve. There's quite a few of them. Quite a few abilities. And his stats obviously are gonna increase as well. Hopefully he gets a soul trait that isn't a resistance, because he already has that. And we'll see him get something decent. Let's see who's next. Oh yes, Yoruichi. I did bring up Yoruichi because much like Soifon, her stats are a little bit higher, but much like Soifon, she's actually pretty stacked, you know. She's already got everything she needs to be a good character. She is already a good character. This character specifically, she's a nat character that just happens to have frenzy, so her strong attacks aren't going to waste. I just wanted to kind of bring her up just because she will be getting resurrected relatively soon. She was one of the first characters, and when she does, she's gonna be strong because that plus 54 and that plus 80 or 88, and then an improvement of this is just gonna make a better character. Okay, this is also another one I wanted to go over Amagai, just because I know he has a cult following. I know a lot of people who watch my videos actually really like Amagai, and I actually really like his strong attacks. This was the first character I'm like, oh wow, this character came out. This was back when there wasn't 6 stars, so he was actually a great character. And I was just amazed at how cool the character was, and his strong attacks were interesting, and they were actually good range. But then he got 6-starred, and they really didn't think it through. He does have D-Bill, which is nice, but, you know, as for the stats, they're not great at all. He definitely needs a boost in stats. Soul Reaper Killer is actually good. Dodge rate, I hope he gets something better, but we'll have to see. But other than that, I think this character getting resurrected would actually be really cool. It'd be a really cool thing, and it might be... They might redo this character and, you know, put him out in another banner when they resurrect this character, which would be pretty cool. I also put Stark in there because Stark is one of my favorite characters. I just wanted to take a look at his stuff. Honestly, that's really all I wanted to do. His SP would be over 700, and his abilities would get. Hopefully, you can get Flurry or Frenzy. Either one of those would actually be really cool for this character, just because he hits so many times. I just wanted to take a look at him. Honestly, I could have done that on my own time. Whoops. All right. Now we're getting to some of the more interesting ones, because we're actually getting to some of the Zanpakuto. The Zanpakuto were around a year in to the game, and Suzumabachi has the highest attack. I think it's either Suzumabachi or Kazushini that has the highest attack. Still, that plus 54 is impressive. It's going to be over 720. It's 728, I guess. Yeah, that sounds right. 728. Another soul trait, which, you know, she's the only one with a boosted soul trait. Hopefully we'll get more. We'll see what happens there. But yeah, she's the only one with the boosted soul trait for evasion. And for such a high attack, to have only a 15 bruiser is a waste. Berserker at just 10%, also kind of a waste, although her attacks aren't that, you know, great. I think they would actually... Wow, she's got no poison on none of this. Maybe they can add some sort of ability where they get poison on their strong attacks. I don't know. But still, Bruiser, it's got to go higher. I think that's what they're going to end up doing with this character. Senbon Sakura is one of those characters. His attack is decent. His SP is low. But really, it's just this. This is actually a problem. That's actually why I stacked all these together so like this. Is because they all have a similar problem. Their attacks, their stats are decent, but the actual percent of their Bruiser / Berserker is just not there. So... that's for that one. Sodeno Shoryuki, same thing. Great strong attacks, great range on the strong attacks. Okay stats. Like I said, she would be getting an 88 attack. 88 SP increase. And like I said, I don't know if I said this. The attack and SP, all the stats increase has been the same for all the characters so far. It doesn't necessarily mean it will be the same for every single character. Otherwise, we will end up with characters with the highest SP ever, which I guess Resurrection characters are heading that way, but who knows when we'll actually get to it. Still, an increase in the stats in this, but also specifically this. Having this character with Frenzy, and as well Hyorimaru with Frenzy, is actually really cool. Especially since Hyorimaru has Debilitator. They really should give Soden no Shirayuki Debilitator as well, but yeah, it's just a percent for these guys. It's just awful. He has a Soul Reaper Killer. Really needs a better Soul Trait. He would get another Soul Trait. Let's just hope it's better. With Kensei, I just wanted to bring Kensei in there because he also suffers from a similar thing. You can see Bruiser at 15, Berserker at 20. Rukia is actually one that I wanted to take a look at because let's get rid of Kisuke because I forgot what I was going to talk about him. Rukia is one of those characters. It's a tag team character. Hollow Narankar. We have very few tag team characters with Hollow Narankar. Most of them have Soul Reaper Narankar, which is the better combination, but you know, we need variety. But her Bruiser is a 10. Berserker's a 10. It's just a problem. It's just a problem with this character. And actually, let me see. The character that I really wanted to talk about was Baragan. Because Baragan over here, let's get rid of Kuchiki. Baragan, if you guys don't remember, out of all the PvP nightmares there ever was, Baragan is probably the worst. If you don't remember, it's because he had a dodge rate. And there were several ways to build this character. One of them was to max out his dodge rate at 44%. If you had Suzumabachi, it would be 48%. But that would be a problem because that would mean that your attacks would hit about half the time. And if they hit, there's a strong chance they're weakened, so they only do 1 damage. Baragan was a nightmare in PvP. And if he comes back, he's going to have an SP of like 698. An attack of 688, Debilitator, a Bruiser and Berserker that's going to be higher than this, and potentially Frenzy, which would increase the chance of inflicting the weakening, making him a terror in PvP once again. And if I'm being honest, I hope that happens. Let's bring back the old. But I really wanted to talk about this character because that's a very real possibility. Sooner or later, they're going to get to him, and this is going to be better. By the time they get to him, they will have fleshed out the resurrection feature to be balanced, and they're gonna make this character terrifying. I cannot wait. Now, for some of the new / older characters, this character came out not last Christmas, but the Christmas before. It was still a year after the game came out. Her stats, I just wanted to see her stats increased. Everything else is actually decent. Bruiser at 20, it could be a little higher, but she's got Frenzy. Disabler, it's an ability we've only ever seen on this character, and it's such a broken ability that they've never added it to any other character. Again, they need to add it to somebody else. I've been waiting for this ability to come back, and it hasn't yet. If you don't know, it increases the chance of inflicting status ailments by 10%, basically making her strong attack 3 hit multiple times and then double because of Frenzy, and each one of those hits has a 12% chance of inflicting freezing, whereas right now every attack has 2. It's just broken, but I cannot wait. But anyway, yeah, that is my thoughts on this. I just wanted to go over some of these characters, just to kind of see what direction they're heading. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. What OG character you guys are excited for. Originally, this video was much longer, but I screwed it up, so it probably hasn't hit the 30-minute mark like last time. But yeah, let me know what OG characters you guys are excited for, and what you guys think is going to happen. I know a lot of people were upset with the resurrection feature, and I think the reason they're upset right now is because they're only doing OG characters. They're getting a feel for the resurrection feature. They don't want to add anything that will make a character too broken. And honestly, the stat increase they're giving them right now, it doesn't seem too great just because it's OG characters. But when we get to the like the Zanpakuto era, or even some of the like redo of the captains, like when they remade the Blue Byakuya, around that time, we're gonna see a major difference in these characters, a major difference, because some of these characters, just an increase in abilities and stats is gonna make a huge impact. But yeah, once again, let me know what you guys think, what characters you guys are excited for. Take care.